This is My Name is John and God Knows. I'm God Knows, he's My Name is John. And we got Murli, I'm a guest.
He's our dancer.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Out to My Name is John. Yeah! Out to Murli. What up? God knows. God knows the right.
We're based in the Southwest. Originally 2 Claremen, and this guy is from Limerick.
Limerick City.
For this we did a medley of 3 songs. The first song that we did is Throw the Spears, and it features these 2 men on the vocals. The second song that we did is the track called Save Our Souls, which came out last year, and that was a collaboration with another friend of ours from Limerick called Graham S, and that's God Knows on the vocals. And the last song that we did is a new track called African Shirts. We had Steve from Windings play guitar on that track, and we have Murli doing some surprise stuff.
Vocal!
Hey, I wasn't gonna say the word.
And it's not what you heard.
But I wasn't gonna say the word.
It's word.
Because I don't believe in that word, man.
So, just a word for a job.
For me, first time music truly hit me, and the first time I felt like, you know what, I could do this for life, was when my uncle, Comrade Chingaera, he was a big musician in his time, in my country. So I used to see him on TV when I was younger. He was big in the 80s. No disrespect, but he would have been the first person I saw standing beside a white man. For me as a kid, to see the unity between them was an exciting thing. So yeah, I would have been like, you know what, I want to be something like that. And his music was very uplifting back then as well, so it hit me. And then second time was when his son started doing music as well, and he was pretty big in his time.
Don't get it twisted, dude. I make no segregated to me so extra melody. Son of a colony, sit destined to slave us melodies.
Well, I was in 4th class in primary school, and a cousin had told me about a band called Public Enemy, and I was intrigued about this band. And my friend Stevie Pine said, my brother has Public Enemy tapes, I can lend them to you, but it's going to be £1 per night. So every time that I wanted to copy one of the tapes, I had to pay £1 to Richie Pine in Ennis. I got Public Enemy, then I got Dr. Dre, and I got Funk Dubious, and that was the making of me.
Would you rather be William Shakespeare, or would you rather take it?
As for me, well, since I was young, really, my grandfather was a traditional singer in Africa, so there was always singing in our house, you know, that the whole family, you'll always have someone singing. But when I moved to Ireland, then I was like 11, 12, and I met a guy here called Peggy, and he was a lot into hip-hop. And then one day, literally, he just talked to me, and since I was a big music fan as well, he was like, dude, you know what, we really need to start doing our own thing. We downloaded a beat. I remember it was, I think it was Kanye West Gold Digger beat. We recorded a freestyle on it. So that was our first song made. And then listening to that all the time, I was like, oh my days, I so gotta do this. Then I went to school and I called all the homies like, you dude, fam, I got a rap song. And then I'll give it to them and they were like, dude, you're totally good. You should totally do this. Then that's when I started then recording my own stuff.
Never had a sound like
This one,
come whole team in the
background,
D-double
and the black one,
from
Africa Island.
Never had a sound like this.
When I first started, there was this whole thing about trying to look cool, like hip-hop. The hip-hop that I've been introduced to is not the same thing I'll be doing today. I was introduced to the likes of 50 Cent and the likes of them, so there was that thing about trying to be a gangster. As I grew up, I realized that, look, man, I can never fake it good enough. So I don't even know if I'm gonna make it doing that. So I gotta be as natural as I can be. Because all the time I was here, always go back home and listen to Congolese music and music from the Ivory Coast, North Africa, Indian music. I'm a really big fan of like world music. When I started making beat, I always try to kind of incorporate aspect of different genre of music into my thing, and most importantly, African drumming. When it comes to even rapping, it gets to some stage when I always just feel like taking stuff from back home and how can I make that, if I can say modernize it in my own kind of way. So yeah, it plays a huge part in the music that I make anyway.
I'll be the same but a little bit different. Meeting somebody like Murli would have truly, it put a lot of depth into my, let's say, if I can ever say the word, Africanness. Because he would exude a lot of that, you know. I mean, man has African shirts. Growing up, I would have been influenced more by Jamaican culture, because in my country, Jamaican culture is huge. We were deep into our reggae music. So I bring a little bit of that and what these boys do, because this man is also one of the biggest.
He's probably more African than we are.
And he takes it all the way back. He plays something from 1940.
And they laugh at me then, they're like... But I think the one thing is that we all actually learn a lot from each other in terms of each other's culture or each other's past or the music, and that's what really inspires the, I don't even want to say the music, but the kind of, I suppose, the movement forward, where it's like, hey, I'm discovering a lot of new things here, and if we can apply this to the music or just our understanding of culture, it makes it far more interesting.
In terms of like hip hop right now, we all have a similar like to TDE in LA at the moment. We really like what they're doing, and they're kind of pushing boundaries a little bit more. And at the moment, it's just really in-house. I mean, we're really loving what each other's doing, whether it's people like Windings, whether it's Deviant and Naive Ted, whether it's someone. It's really honestly been a beautiful time for music in Ireland. I'm really, really proud of Ireland at the moment. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But myself and G are in a really lucky position in that we work in music every day, and we get to work with young people. So like a lot of their excitement towards music or their approaches towards music is kind of what's rubbing off on us. So it's not really to try and find like what's the newest, you know, best thing that you can on the internet. A lot of the time it's like, hey, the kids that we work with on a daily basis, they're the biggest inspirations for us, and like we literally have an army of young people in Limerick who are making amazing music, and that's really inspirational, I think, for us.
And kind of scary. We just released an album called Wasangado Family, which was out on the 23rd of May. So by the time you see this, it'll probably be a little bit of a while. But through the back of the album, we got handpicked to support Snoop Dogg. And yeah, that was an amazing experience. So I think we've definitely got big things planned ahead, and I don't see us stopping now. I only see it getting bigger and bigger.
Our whole thing is like, our aspirations aren't to move away and be successful. Our aspirations are to stay in our community, build our community up, and actually show all the talent that kind of we meet on a daily basis. And yeah, Limerick is a great city, and for us, we actually want to highlight some of the amazing things that's happening there and use that as our base.
With a dog like John. The African star, them Afro beat. I'm the African star, bringing Afro beat. Go to the rest of bringing Afro heat. My bros gon' board, there's Afro green. Like Nelly from home, I'm Afro teens. They got a bad like a malala. From about the mullets, got African shirts, African suits, African ties. But that